This is Sherry Avery with Avery Savory Popcorn, and I'm here interviewing the Honorable Mayor Barbara Mallett, the Mayor of East Spencer, North Carolina, for Women's History Month. I appreciate you sitting in for this short interview. My interviews are typically pretty brief, so I just have a few questions. And the first question would be, why do we need a special month to honor women?
Oh, women have done so much in this world, and they do a lot for their communities. And when we start entering into politics and entering into the world in the workforce, a lot of people will miss that nurturing part of a woman.
That's a great answer. I agree with you on that. So, how did you end up in your current career, being in politics and being the mayor?
Well, it all happened by a happenstance, I think. I think maybe in the early 1960s, we lived in New York City, and that was the time of the Civil Rights Movement. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so I said, when we moved, I wanted to work in a small African American city. And I wanted to be in the community doing things for people, filling out forms, helping them read documents, helping them to understand law and do some of those things. And it just happened that when we moved, the town needed a clerk. I stayed 20 years, had a change in government, and they no longer wanted me, which was fine. And I moved on to work with the school, still nurturing. Worked for a school for 6 years, and my grandchildren were able to go to the school while I was administrative assistant. While I was there, I said, well, maybe it's time for me to run for alderman. I ran and I won. I think I came in second under the mayor at that time. And I stayed there 4 years. She decided not to run for mayor, and I thought this would be my chance. So I got out and campaigned and did everything. But at that time, I think people really came out and said, now this lady had been here all these years. Now she wants to be our mayor. So they put out some negativity. I didn't worry about that. And that night when the election came in, I lost. I was devastated. And even some of my family members had voted. They were over there cheering for my opponent that he won. So that hurt too. So I think that night I cried and fell on my husband's shoulder. He didn't know what to think of me, but I just cried like a baby. But you know what? That was one of the best changing times of my life because I started my journaling. And now, after, I guess, all these years, I have about 4 or 5 volumes of heavy notebooks, maybe about that size, that I have journaled. And that has been a pathway for my life to relieve my stress, to write visions down, and to, I guess, bring me to the point where I am now. I've been a mayor for 12 years now. So I have invested 34 years in this town.
So, how do you continue to shine in spite of the things that you may face?
Because it's not about me. What you see is what God has led me to be. He afforded me this opportunity, and He does all the directing, and I do the following. It's that inner power. I don't care what it is. Everybody should have it, and everybody must have it in order to accomplish any heart's desire you have on this earth. It's a higher power, and it's that self love to see yourself better and see yourself not only better for yourself, but for others too. So that's why I keep shining. I've had some terrible things happen to me. People saying things about me, but what can I do? I can't do a thing about that. If I did, progress would stop. And the shine, it'll come no matter what. It will come
That's a great answer. So, how can we empower other women?
by our example and our character. A gentleman in our church always says, I don't care where I'm going or where I am, somebody is looking at you. Some young child, some young adult, some woman, some older lady, some man, they're looking at you. The prime example is that when they know conflict has come to your door and they say to you, I don't know how in the world that you keep going. That's a character builder because your reaction to the negativity is what people see. You don't think they're sitting watching, what is she going to do now? They looking at your reaction to how people treat you or any circumstance that you're going to, and your character and your reaction to what it is. That's what influences women. They want to know more or how you do it. That's it.
Well, I appreciate you taking this time to interview with me. I have one last question.
Sure.
What's your favorite popcorn flavor?
My favorite is that dill pickle.
Dill pickle.
I love the dill pickle.
Okay.
I really do. I love the dill pickle. That's my favorite. I appreciate y'all for asking and inviting me here. I just hope my life has been an inspiration to somebody. Well, I'm going to leave two words with you. One is self-love, love yourself, and the other is perseverance. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else.